So I'm here at the Shrewsbury Club. It's the W100 tennis tournament taking place this week. And I'm with Beth Heath. Now, Beth, you're from Shropshire Festivals, Director of Fun.
Yeah.
What's your involvement then this week?
So we've got a lot of corporate entertainment that happens every evening. We've had breakfast, we've had civic receptions, we've got networking, we've got parties. So we're in charge of just making sure those run smoothly, making the tent look amazing and adding smiles to people's faces.
Now, you put on events all over Shropshire. Of course, we've got the Shrewsbury Food Festival. You've got Kids Fest taking place next year. When's, is that March time?
February
half term. There you go in Telford. So you put on lots of events. We had Oktoberfest, which was brilliant, and that was rammed this year. Oktoberfest, that was fantastic. So when do you start then planning an event like this, which I guess is a bit smaller, but that doesn't mean to say it's any less, does it?
No, I have to say, people often say to me, what do you do the rest of the year? I'm like, actually, events take an awful long time to put together. So something like this, we've been talking about it for about 8 months.
Yeah.
So making sure that we've got a good lineup of speakers and events happening, like the amazing TV guys filming tonight, and then you've got lots of other things that happen alongside events that no one ever sees, and so we have to make sure there's enough infrastructure and all of the boring bits as well.
And I guess at the moment costs are rising, so how has that changed from when maybe, say, as you said 8 months ago you started doing this to today?
Yeah, it's been a nightmare year for events and costs going up. So we've seen costs rise about 20% over the last year. So something like Oktoberfest that was quoted for a year before that, we saw a massive increase in costs as we're going, and this is the same. You know, we're having to bring some stuff in late notice, and supply and demand's been very hard this year. And also availability of things like staff, really simple things, build marquees, need quite a lot of people to do that. And so you just can't get people who want to do that work anymore. A lot of people came out of the events industry during COVID. Why do you want to go back into it where you can earn more money stacking shelves in a supermarket?
So is that, would you say, one of the more difficult things at the moment is recruiting staff to come in and do an event like this and help?
Yeah, massively. Event staff is hard, less so in Shropshire than it is in the rest of the UK. As always, I think we're always a little bit softer than the rest of the country is. But yeah, recruitment's really tough, but getting equipment is tough too, because so many events have happened in 2022. Then there's just more demand for everything. So to get stuff, if you haven't been organised about it, is like hen's teeth.
Absolutely. So obviously we're here this week, we've got a great event going on. How important do you think things like this and the corporate side of events are important to the economy in Shropshire? Well,
Tuesday morning we had the Shropshire Leaders Breakfast, and I have never seen, there hasn't been a buzz like that from a networking event since pre-COVID, and that event hasn't happened since then. And the business that went on in the room, we picked up 2 jobs from it, and that was my, I was busy working.
And that's
really.
That's nice and local as well, isn't it? Local jobs.
And the people were just absolutely networking. This evening we've got a networking event happening, and the business that's in the room, or you see somebody and you're meant to have a conversation with them, or you're picking up from something else. From a corporate perspective, you can't do all of your business over email. People love people, and you buy from people, and you want to do business with people. If you don't see those people, then business doesn't happen in the same way.
It's lovely to be back at events, as you say, from COVID and post-COVID. So February then, Kids Fest. How busy are you going to be leading up to that then?
So we've got hamper company, so we've got Shropshire Hamper Company, so we do about 4,000 hampers before Christmas.
4,000?
Yeah, it's going nuts at the moment. And people are more into local food and drink. So I know, ask me about Kids Fest and I'll sideline into hampers, but we're going mental at the moment, and the joy of that is we're supporting all of our local food and drink producers that come to the food festival. But yeah, for Kids Fest, we're building up for that now, and we're talking to a lot of sponsors, a lot of activity providers who are going to be doing, we've got some really cool ideas. We'll have things like foam parties and STEM workshops, coding, but we've also got forest school, and I've got some VR stuff that we're going to be doing this next year.
That sounds quite exciting.
Loads of interactive stuff for the kids. I still think we should open up an evening for all of the adults for the inflatables.
Definitely think you should do that.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant fun.
It would be. Brilliant. Well, good luck for the rest of the week, and thank you for chatting to us. Well, I'm here now with Helen Johnson from Erin & Partners. Helen, how's things going here? Because this is a corporate event tonight, isn't it? And you're part of that.
It is, yes. So we, in conjunction with WR Partners, have sponsored the Advantage Shropshire evening, which is all about bringing businesses together and celebrating the tennis event.
So it's all about tennis here, but about business as well for this evening.
It is.
And I think it's quite important, isn't it, to hold events like this?
Well, it is. It's great for publicising the event itself, which is, a real positive for the region. But also it's an opportunity for businesses to get together, to spend time together, and to enjoy the tennis.
And I think for Aaron and Partners as well, this is quite important to be part of the business community, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's absolutely fundamental to a law firm like ours, is working with people, building relationships, and sponsoring events like this enables some of that.
And do you sponsor many events? How do you get out into the business community?
We work a lot with the Chambers of Commerce, with business organisations, and with other professional services firms. And yes, we're quite selective about the businesses, about the events that we do sponsor.
And working with businesses across Shropshire, I guess, and the wider area as well, and obviously they come to you for help, and for, not just for bad things, is it? It's for good things as well, mergers and things like that.
Of course, absolutely. Our corporate and commercial team are fully occupied, looking at businesses grow and develop, and we have a strong international offering as well. So many businesses in Shropshire are looking overseas. In fact, we sponsored the International Business Award at the Chamber of Commerce Business Awards this year.
So things like that's really important as a law firm for you to get out and about into the business community.
Absolutely.
So I better let you go back and do some networking.
Thank you very much.
I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you, Helen. Well, I've just caught up with Dave Courtine, the Managing Director of the Shrewsbury Club. Dave, it's been a busy week for you. You're nearly at the end of it. How's things been going?
Yeah, it's been a great week. We're really pleased with how the event's gone. I think we've held a number of ITF World Tour events here at the Shrewsbury Club before, but never one at this level. And I think the jump up from the previously biggest event we'd held was a W60. This one is a W100, and I think the step up for us has been huge and has been challenging, but the benefits far outweigh the challenges that it's brought with it. It's been a really exciting week.
So it's been a great week for tennis, but also for local business as well, because this event, obviously you've got the tennis side, but it's been big for Shropshire business. Yeah,
I think it's great in a number of perspectives. I think firstly, research by Deloitte and Sport England would say an event like this brings in around £450,000 worth of business to the local area, whether that be through hospitality, tourism, or other sort of spin-off businesses that would benefit from bringing it here, and just the promotion that it gives to like the town and the county really. So I think that's a real win. And I think secondly, it's only because we've had support from over 34 local companies through sponsorship and supporting these events that actually means that it can go ahead, and we really hope that they feel they've got value for money in terms of the awareness that we've brought them, and also the value that it's brought to their clients in terms of hospitality and being able to entertain people. So yeah, I think it's great for the businesses in general because of how we bring awareness to the region, and I think it's great for the companies that have got behind us and sponsored us.
And I guess business wouldn't get involved, they wouldn't sponsor if they didn't think there was a return value for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think to see the level of tennis that we've got here, I mean, right now as we're talking, kind of in the background over there is playing Tatiana Maria, who played in the Wimbledon semi-final this year. You know, it's players that are playing at the top level of Grand Slams that are now playing in Shrewsbury. So that's wonderful, and I think therefore as a business to be associated with this type of event and to be able to bring clients to it and have your branding and your awareness around courtside is great. You know, we've got this event's being live streamed around the world, and we've got the banners around the court that have got the sponsors' names on it. So I think hopefully we've really helped in terms of brand awareness, and we've helped them in terms of hospitality and entertaining of key clients and staff.
Well, tonight is the Advantage Shropshire evening, so there's lots of businesses all coming together here, so I guess that's quite important, and for you to have the space to offer that for businesses to come together.
Yeah, this event was put on as a partnership with Shropshire Festivals, as in the whole week really, so they work with us really hard on what goes on in the non-tennis side. We have a number of social events and activities. Advantage Shropshire, as you say, is all about the business networking benefits, and Shropshire Festivals do a great job at dressing up the market. It looks amazing. We've got live music, we've got street food, so it's a really great night for people to just get together and be able to chat about business, but also enjoy some sport as well.
Absolutely. Dave, you're a busy man. I better let you go and carry on.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Well, I've now caught up with Heather Rees from WR Partners. Heather, thank you for joining us. Now, this is a great event. This evening's Advantage Shropshire. It's all about Shropshire business. Why did you get involved in this evening?
We got involved for, many reasons. It's a brilliant event in the area. There's some really fantastic tennis players that have come. We've had some really exciting games today, so for that reason we're involved. Secondly, we've got many clients around the area, especially Shropshire. It's a really good opportunity for us to celebrate some of the great stuff that happens in the area and to
come together, I suppose. I mean, there's lots of businesses. We're on the mezzanine level. There's a match going on now just there. But downstairs, we've got a fantastic marquee, which I know has been put together with Shropshire Festivals. Yeah. And as you say, there's lots of businesses across Shropshire all coming together. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we provided a competition to our clients to take part in the event, and we've never had such a high amount of engagement. It was really brilliant to see how many people want to support the local area and come to an event like this and take part.
I know everybody needs an accountant, everybody needs help with their tax, so people know of you, but I guess it's important as well to come out and to advertise and to spread the word about the company too at events like this.
Yeah, we rebranded around the COVID period. We've made a number of acquisitions and kind of redefined who we are as a company. That's not to say that we've changed massively from where we were originally, but we always like to take the opportunity to really share all of the expertise that we can with as many people as possible and to essentially help as many businesses as possible. So yeah, you're right, branding is very important.
It sounds good. Listen, I'm going to let you go back down to the action downstairs because I know there's a lot going on. You've got a lot of people to talk to as well.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's a really successful night tonight, so I think
should be quite good. Thank you. I'm joined now by Rachel Labour from the Marches LEP. Rachel, thank you for joining us up here in our little studio this evening. So we've got a big event taking place tonight, Advantage Shropshire. Lots of businesses getting together. One of the things I've been hearing from talking to people all throughout the evening is how important it is for businesses to be back in the same room networking.
I think it is vitally important. I think so much can be gained from actually just those one-off conversations you might have, and it's a connection that you wouldn't make if you just sat in your own office or in front of your own computer screen. And it's those conversations that might just open up opportunities to businesses. And it's the opportunity to share knowledge as well. We're here and we've bought quite a lot of tickets for other people to come here today because we really want to encourage that engagement with businesses. And we really just want to promote all the money and support that is still available to businesses. We've heard with the interest rates today going up, I think more and more pressure is being put on businesses' bottom line as well. So to know that there is help and support available through the Growth Hub, I think is really important.
What have you been hearing then from local businesses? How concerned are they? What are the concerns?
The concerns remain around interest rates, but the cost of energy, it's just crippling so many businesses, isn't it? We've still got the problems with recruitment as well, but then with inflation running at such a high rate, I think the demands from people are ever higher and the salary expectations are ever higher, but businesses just can't meet those high costs when their energy bills are going up. Some modestly, you would say 10%, but some businesses have had their energy costs go up by 50, 60, 70%. You just can't meet that, can you? No. I mean, I've actually took my children swimming before I came here tonight, and they've both got out of the swimming pool and they're absolutely frozen because they've had to turn the temperature of the swimming pool down.
Which is what we're hearing about.
Not here.
No, but elsewhere.
Yeah.
And also one of the things we're hearing about at the moment is restaurants or pubs as well, eateries, having to close slightly earlier just to save money.
Yeah, and just only open 4 days a week. And I was speaking to a business that they've decided to make the lighting more moody, otherwise known as turning the lights off.
There's lots of things businesses are doing.
But even like hairdressers, you wouldn't have even thought, it didn't occur to me that hairdressers would be struggling as much, but speaking to a hairdresser recently as well, and they're going to look at reducing their days to maybe to 4 or 5 days a week because they just literally can't afford to keep the lights on unless they've got every single slot booked. So I think people need to understand it's really tough times. The Governor of the Bank of England said, I think we're going into the longest recession for ever, actually, isn't it? And it's going to over the next 2 years. So I think we need to make the most of all the support that is available there. And I think it's that sharing of knowledge with other businesses. So
Absolutely.
It's important to network.
And one of the things we did along with the Marches LEP, with the Growth Hub, was launch SBLTV Knowledge, which is a great portal that people can go and find out more information. We're adding information to that all the time. So Marches Growth Hub then is a great resource.
Yeah, we've got loads of information on there for free, and we've got grant funding still that's available. We've got small equipment grants, we've got the Marches Energy Fund still. So yeah, if you need any support, just come to us and then we'll direct you, because there's a plethora of business support out there. There's over 17 different initiatives running, but we've got things, we've got loan funds, we've got grant funds. Just come to us. It's not as much as it was with European money falling away now, but hopefully government will continue to invest in different initiatives. And there's quite a lot of quite niche funds, which maybe a small business wouldn't find, but come to us and we'll direct you. Make the most of it. As I say to people, and I was speaking to a business today and talking them through some of the options, he said, well, I don't want to be seen to be applying for everything. I said, well, why wouldn't you? If it's free money and it can help your business,
absolutely,
then apply.
Take that help, absolutely. Rachel, I'll let you go and carry on enjoying your evening.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Lovely, thank you.
Well, I'm joined now by James Martin, Managing Director of the Budgeon Group. James, this is a big event. It's got bigger. You've been involved for quite a few years now, haven't you?
I have, yes. Been involved for about 7 years. We took over from another car company, I think, about 7 years ago, when it was really small. David just taken it over. There was probably 10 people came to visit it, and he's grown it ever since. So up to the size of this year, which is $100,000.
I think it is $100,000, yeah, which is quite important and quite a big tournament to have here in Shropshire.
It is, yeah, for the town. Other than the sort of the food festival that happens in the summer, it's one of the biggest events. I think the biggest sporting event outside Shrewsbury Town football, which is obviously big in the town. Other than that, tennis, yeah, it's fantastic.
And how then important is it for you to be involved in this as Budgeon Motors?
As Budgeon, we love sport. I love sport. I love rugby. I love tennis. I love Formula One. So I try and pick sports around the area that I can get involved with. We actually got involved with the children to start with. So probably 5 or 6 years ago, the club started to look at local schools, and Dave came to me and said, "Do you want to sponsor the local schools program?" And then it sort of built from there and then these tournaments. But from a town point of view, it's great to look at the town.
And tonight is Advantage Shropshire. It's all about local business. So I guess for you as well, networking with local businesses?
Yes. I've funnily enough, I've just been talking to someone about my will, because I don't have a will. So I've got their card, and I'm going to go and see those next week.
But, those little moments, isn't it, where you're just probably in a conversation, and they might go, if I don't know you, what do you do? And they'll say this, and that's business.
It is, absolutely. And then there's Savills, which is another one of the sponsors, which we've been talking to about property, because we're looking for property in a particular town, and they hopefully will find me one. So yeah, it is all about the businesses, and to be fair, the support of this club from the local businesses is phenomenal. It's really good.
And in terms of Budgeon at the moment, how are things going for you? Because we've heard obviously during COVID there was delays in getting new cars.
There's still delays in getting cars.
Still now?
Yeah. So there's been a war in Ukraine. There's been a shortage in chips. There's been a plethora of different issues in the economy, and so getting cars is still difficult. We can get them. We can still get cars. So everyone come and visit Budgeon Motors for cars. But it's still tough. The world's tough, and just running a business is tough.
Yeah. So is there anything you've done then to change either since COVID or now we're talking about the price of energy and things? Has that made you rethink things?
Yeah, we're a lot more conscious of cost. So we were always, I'm an accountant, so always being conscious of cost. But actually, things like people leaving a door open with the heating on, and we're using local companies for that. To be honest, you ring companies up and say, we need to work out how do we turn the heating off when someone opens a door, or silly little things like that. And I don't think there's anyone here today with that. But So and generally from property, looking after your property, in this time is difficult. Yeah, very, very difficult.
Absolutely. Well, listen, thank you for chatting to us.
No problem.
And also, thank you for sponsoring this great event, which is brilliant for Shropshire and Shropshire business. Yeah,
well, I'm glad Dave keeps asking me back every year, so obviously we're doing something right. And thank you for talking to me.
I'll let you get back and do some networking.
Perfect.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Well, I've been joined now by Richard Joyner, the tournament director. Richard, how is the event going?
We're having a fantastic week here. This is the culmination of a number of years' work from Dave Courtine, the club, and everyone in Shropshire in terms of getting to a prize money level of $100,000, and we've certainly not been disappointed so far.
because I mean, events here at the Shrewsbury Club, when the first tournament started, they started quite small, they've built up, but this is the biggest since, is it 1994?
Yeah, how it's worked, I mean, in terms of the club, every year there's improvements that go on with the event, but in terms of in Great Britain, this is actually the highest level indoor professional women's tennis event that's been staged since the early 1990s on the south coast in Brighton. So it's sort of, that's quite a long while ago, the early 1990s obviously. And so it's something that the town and everyone associated with the event should be really proud of.
And for you as a tournament director, how much pressure is on you as you're planning and building up to something like this week?
Yeah, there is. Okay, and there's also a little bit of an unknown because it's the first time at this level, okay, at this venue. But because of everything that the local community do, everything that Dave Courtine and the club does, okay, it means it spreads the load rather than just being on one person. There's a whole number of people that sort of help get it to where it is for the tournament week.
And I guess in a big event like this really could be held anywhere in the UK. You've got people flying in to perform, but to be here in Shropshire, what makes these facilities a perfect location?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. One, it's obviously a fantastic club. Okay, it's got some good quality courts. Okay, 4 or 5 years ago, Dave said, what does the club need to do tennis-wise to get a higher level event? And two of the things that were required were to increase the lighting level and improve the lighting levels for this level of event, and to resurface the courts accordingly. So I think a few months later, they came back and said, yeah, we've got all that sorted, we're going to do it, and therefore that meant that it was prepared and ready for opportunities that came along in the calendar.
And would you normally have a response that quick then when
no.
you say no? So this just goes to show.
I'm in a nutshell. I mean, usually at that point there'd be okay, perhaps we'll stay where we are then. But no, because there was such a drive and a desire to get higher level events, the investment opportunity came along, and that's what the club has had for the last few years as well. Which obviously not just for the professional matches, okay, obviously helps members of the club, and it's a nicer, brighter experience for them too.
And you've got lots of people across the week coming to view the tennis, which then obviously makes the sport even bigger because then they kind of want to take it up maybe, or younger children.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's such a big area here in terms of engagement and in terms of inspiring. Okay, and it doesn't matter what that inspiration is. It doesn't matter whether it's inspiration just to get involved in the sport, even maybe not even playing, but get involved in the sport in other ways. But hopefully to get involved in the sport to play and actually enjoy it, whatever level that may be. So that sort of that growth, that participation, that sustainability is a great asset. So it's not just about the matches that are out there, although they're important. It's how that can generate interest in the sport and hopefully sort of enhance people's lives, I guess. And
also tonight is a business evening. It's Advantage Shropshire, so lots of businesses getting involved as well and showing their support for the sport.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, I know Dave's. I mean, I've not got the exact number, but I know there's been a lot of businesses that have been getting behind the event, not just in terms of sponsorship, but in other ways of supporting the event. And again, at the network session happening tonight, there's opportunities there, but it's the tournament that's the sort of the magnet that's bringing that together.
So we're building up to the final, which takes place on Sunday, and obviously the big final is the big one. What happens after that? What will you be doing after that?
After that, personally, will be, I mean, on Sunday, immediate thoughts are on Sunday evening. We've got a lot of de-rigging to do, which we need to have done by Sunday evening, so the club is back to normal for Monday morning. And also I've got a mission. In fact, I have a 9-seater vehicle here, which I have to get back to where I live in Nottingham by first thing on Monday morning. So I can't sort of think, I'll come back in the morning and finish that, because I've got to drop it off back there. So it's, I mean, that's the initial bit, is the physical de-rig, and then there's obviously quite a lot of wrapping up from the tournament, whether it's the finances, whether it's there's just quite a lot of wrapping up to do from there.
Planning for other tournaments in the future?
Yes, okay. I mean, and then there's the discussion with the club in terms of how they'd like to progress for next year, and we as an organisation would always have the Shrewsbury Club as a go-to venue, because of the fact of everything that the club does and the local community do.
Well, it's been lovely chatting to you, Richard, and thank you for bringing the tournament here to Shropshire as well.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.